Hey everybody, Hebrew Hulk here. So, topic for today is bigorexia. For those of you that don't know what bigorexia is basically the opposite form of anorexia. Whereas anorexia is basically the idea that, and I might be butchering this definition, that you are never quite in the physical shape that you want and that you will still have a fair amount of fat on your body no matter how thin you get. You can't properly visualize your own personal self, which leads to definitely multiple eating disorders and stuff like that. So in the bodybuilding world, which is mostly where you find that we see bigorexia, which is guys that feel like they're never quite big enough. And I will fully be one to admit that I do have a slight issue with bigorexia, which I think any competitive bodybuilder will on some level. They may have certain features about themselves they do like, but they always can find they can improve some more. So one of the biggest things I have an issue with is I've met a lot of guys where it literally controls their life. Um, Feeling small is literally a horrible day for them, and I find I've never really been that bad. Um, like going up to my last show, I lost a fair amount of size, and I found it kind of hard. I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be. But at the same point, I was really happy with how lean I was. So I found that I've actually seemed to have a decent balance in it. I don't let it control my life too much for the most part, which is part of the reason I'm okay that I'm more of an endomorphic bodybuilder. I do tend to hold a bit more fat on my body. I don't really mind that. I don't mind the fact that I don't constantly have a six pack at all times, which preference. I definitely say my issue with bigorexia is definitely not the worst case I've heard of, because I've heard of some guys, like I said, like one day feel like you're small, or one day match up against someone bigger than you, your day is ruined because you realize you are not as big as you want to be, and that's all there is to it. And you need to get bigger because apparently your size is to a certain extent your self-worth. And granted, who doesn't like walking into a room and being the biggest guy in the room? Like, it's kind of a nice feeling, especially if you're the kind of guy like me who wasn't the biggest guy in the room at one point, and now like you're the kind of guy people come to for advice and stuff like that. Like I'm definitely not the biggest person in the city by far or in this sport, but definitely there's a lot of times I'll go into a room where most of my friends, like, I'm the only really fit one and the only really big one, just the way it is. Like, like there's a lot of bodybuilders in the same city that have a lot of size on me, and I'm not the biggest, and I want to make that claim because I'm fully aware I've got a long way to go, and the size I have now is hopefully nothing close to the size I'll maintain. I'll start not maintain. I'll gain down the road. But yeah, so that's kind of a topic I wanted to touch on. Like, if you do find that bigorexia is like really starting to ruin your life, like everything is wrapped around it, like every day, every meal, every event, maybe it's time to step back a little bit. Has to do a lot with mostly just balance. Like any real mental condition, you got to kind of step back and say, okay, this is controlling my life. Is this worth controlling my life? Similar to an addiction to a certain extent, because I'm a firm believer bigorexia goes along with this almost an addictive standpoint, more than mental stability, because that need to constantly do this, whether it's eat more, train more, and just revolve your life around it. So, anyways, that's my opinion on bigorexia. So remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.